Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe this channel, like the video, comment below the video so that my channel may reach to as many as possible. Yesterday, Bharatiya Janata Party has declared June 25 as a Samvidhan Hatya Day, alleging that in 1975 Indira Gandhi declared emergency on the same day. If Indira Gandhi declared emergency in 1975, the voters during 1975 might have got affected. They might have suffered and they might have voted against Indira Gandhi. What about the decisions taken by NDA government now? Who are the sufferers? Are we not the sufferers? Are we not directly affected by the decisions taken by the present government? Then what is the need of talking about 1975 emergency in 2025? Opposition alleged that at present also we are under undeclared emergency situation. So they released a list yesterday. During 2024 elections, NDA government went for the elections asking for Abki bar 400 bar. Now the opposition is questioning you, what is the intention of India government to asking exactly 400 number during 2024 elections? The opposition alleges that it is to change the constitution. And the opposition has alleged that you have suspended many MPs from the parliament. Why did MPs are suspended from the parliament? Refused to discuss critical issues. Legislators bulldozed. Parliamentary committee suggestions overlooked. These are the allegations made by opposition. If our grandparents had affected by the 1975 emergency, they might have done anti-voting to Indira Gandhi. We are only talking about the undeclared emergency at present now. They also alleged that CAG became irrelevant. The CAG is only auditing and reporting, but you are not taking the suggestions and comments made by the CAG. Why? The opposition asked yesterday. Is it because to fabricate the reports and hide the financial scams as alleged by Aam Aadmi Party earlier? And Rahul Gandhi is continuously fighting with Election Commission, alleging that there is a match fixing during elections in Maharashtra. Maharashtra he has taken as a subject for project. His doubts are also there on Haryana elections. The Election Commission is being continuously questioned, alleged of match fixing. When we are having such a major problem now, what's the need of talking about 1975 emergency? And this is the 55% of electoral bonds were issued for Bharatiya Janata Party. That's what Rahul Gandhi said. The electoral bonds is a big scam where the companies are forced and threatened to issue them the electoral bonds so that they may not be harassed by investigating agencies. Funds allocations are injustice that we are doing to the South India. There is a severe allegation that NDA government is using governors to carry on their agenda in non-NDA states. There is a severe allegation by Aam Aadmi Party earlier once they made that Kejriwal has made this allegation that BJP has spent 6,000 crore to buy MLAs and to form governments of Bharatiya Janata Party in different states. Across the country, they have bought 277 MLAs. Opposition also mentioned that you are selling public sector units and privatizing all the units. There is a social media post also circulated that BPCL was sold, SAIL was sold, HP, OEF, Gun Factory, BEAL, Air India, Balco, Railway Station, BSNL, AI, Coal India, ISRO, IIT, IIM, ICSE, all the public sectors introduced by Jawaharlal Nehru, all those units were sold by Narendra Modi now. This is the allegation they have mentioned. There is allegation that selling public sector units is a donkey route selected by Bharatiya Janata Party to kill the reservations in India. That allegation is there. He says that you have increased cess on many states so that their share may be reduced from the central government. They also mentioned about judiciary, punitive transfers, post-retirement sinecures for plain judges, selective implementations of collegium recommendations and all these things. This is against the constitution and judiciary. All the contracts are going to Adani, Ambani and few selected politicians, not to the remaining people. And if you see the data here, see 1% of rich Indians contribute 30% of GDP and 50% of Indians contribute 25% of GDP. Of course, the 44% of middle class contribute 40% of GDP. If you ignore middle class, who contribute equally according as per their strength, but if you see the difference between rich and poor, 1% of rich in India contributing to 30% of income, and remaining 55% of poor people in India is contributing only 25%. That means why there is a huge gap between rich and poor? Because of the NDA government making richer more rich and poor the more poorer. That is an allegation. Opposition also alleged that you have used investigating agencies to act selectively. Investigating agencies like NIA, CBI, ED, Income Tax, Police Department, selectively you are targeting and selectively they are acting on different cases to suppress the opposition, to save the members of your NDA-LA. That's the allegation made by opposition yesterday. And they have alleged that so far 20,000 of civil society voices are silenced. 20,000 more than 20,000 civilians who are questioning the government were silenced by filing cases on them, harassing them, threatening them. That's allegation made by opposition yesterday. We are also under the undeclared emergency in India. Then what is the need of talking about 1975 emergency, and how does it going to help us now to the present generation who are suffering with by the decisions taken by the present government? The rapists, when they got bail, they were celebrated, they were felicitated by the different groups. The opposition alleges that you are saving all these people. He also alleged that NDA government suppressed the media, and there is a pressure on media, and they intimidated the media, and they raided on media channels, and they arrest so many journalists. Advertisement, they're giving advertisements to only selected newspapers. They're asking owners to hire the journalists who are friendly to the government. Opposition, that's why we call it as an undeclared emergency. Then what is the need of talking about 1975 emergency, which was declared in 50 years ago by Indira Gandhi, and how it is 1975 emergency is going to affect to the present generation, when if we, the present generation also in the same similar situations, then what's the need of talking about 50 years ago instant? Opposition also alleged that you killed right to information. Many people got mukti from ED and CBI if they joined Bharatiya Janata Party. So since 2014, 25 opposition leaders facing corruption probe switched to BJP. 23 people get reprieve from the CBI and ED. If they join BJP, they're being relieved from all the corruption charges. This is the allegation made by opposition. There are many people are giving hate speech to kill, to harass the minorities, to Dalits, to Adivasis. And if anybody questions the government, they called farmers as Khalistanis. They called opposition leader as a Pakistani. And if anybody asks a question, if anybody questions the government, they're calling as anti-national. They're calling as Deshdrohi. They called the educated people as urban Naxals. They're calling terrorists. They're calling Videshi, British legacy. They're giving so many names to the people who question the government. That's why the opposition said this undeclared emergency. Double tongue in the voice of Bharatiya Janata Party. We are against the reservations to Muslims because we should not give reservations based on the religion. If it is true that Bharatiya Janata Party is against reservations based on the religion, then how come they removed reservations based on the religions to Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims? And if there is no link between the constitution and reservations and religion, then what base you have removed the reservations to Dalit Muslims and Dalit Christians? It was challenged in the court in 2004. This is in 2025. For about 21 years, a case was not solved that was filed by Dalit Christians in the Supreme Court. On one side, they say that we are pro-reservation, we are not against reservation. On the other side, they're choosing privatization as the donkey route to kill the reservations. They claim that we have Ambedkar legacy. On the other side, they suppress the Ambedkarists, social activists, Dalit activists who are questioning the government. This is the double tongue and double words as released by opposition yesterday. Vijay Mallya, Mehul Choksi, Nirav Modi, Nishant Modi, Pushpesh Padya, Ashish Jabanputra, Sunny Kalra, Aarti Hai, Sanjay Kalra, Varsha Kera, Sudhir Kalra, Jadin Mehta, Umesh Patla, Kamlesh Patla, Nilesh Puriho, Vinay Mittal, Ekwachai Jali, Chetan Jayantlal Dara, Nitin Jayantlal Dara, Deeptiban Chetan, Savya Seta, Rajiv Goyal, Alka Goyal, Lalit Modi, Ritesh Jaini, Hiteshan Patel, Mayuri Patel, Ashish Suresh Bhai. Bharatiya Janata Party only has released this list. They say that none of them are RSS, none of them are belong to Sangh Parvar, none of them belong to Bharatiya Janata Party. But the fundamental truth and fact is that majority of them are fled during NDA government. They might have taken loans during EPA government, but they escaped India during NDA government. 25 lakh crore bank loans were written off by NDA government to the major business people, but harassing the farmers to pay the agricultural loans, harassing the women to pay Dwakra loans, 25,000, 10,000 loans. Poor people there, the banks are harassing them, but 25 lakh crores were written off to the corporate people. Delimitation is injustice to South India. Income share, we are getting injustice in the income share, and for funds allocation is injustice. Our South Indian projects are not getting approved by India government, and they're releasing that we are not getting sufficient time to speak in parliament, and you're imposing Hindi forcefully, and you're erasing our culture. These are all the allegations South India is making against India government, and then we have so many problems. What is the need of talking about 1975 emergency? GDP, you're projecting that GDP is going to become number 1, number 3, number 4. About GDP, but you're not talking about per capita income, you're not talking about inflation, you're not talking about unemployment, not talking about, and you're silent on the unemployment, silent on the poverty, and silent on suffraganization of education, not talking on attacks on Dalits, not talking on attacks and atrocities on women, criticism during surgical strikes and criticism during Jammu and Kashmir issue, that you are not trying to get the JK issue, solve the JK issue, and these are all the allegations made by opposition. When we have so many problems, what is the need of talking about 1975 emergency, which was held in which took place in 50 years ago, and how it's going to be relevant to us, to the present generation, we and our children? The government need to understand this. Thank you. Namaskar.